of course, it's the 10th day of August 2026. What a beautiful day to be alive, and perhaps to talk about the major highlights and the high points making rounds across the country, Nigeria. Thank you and many thanks for joining us this morning. I am Anu Oluwapo Ido.
Right, good morning to you and thank you for joining us this morning on Daybreak Live on Dominion TV Ibadan. My name is Oluwayemi Adelako, and of course, let's take you through what we have for you this morning. We intend to start with the major newspaper headlines with our analyst Olukule Durudulu.
And of course, the big story will carry on. Of course, is Tinubu's re-election bid gaining momentum? That's the conversation I'll be spotlighting this one with our guest, Professor Godwin Emmanuel Oyedokun, forensic accountant, professor of accounting and financial development this morning.
Definitely. And then after then, we intend to sign out on the program this morning. We have quite a number of things to talk about. Please stick around. We take a short break, and when we come back, we take the newspaper headlines and analysis. We'll be right back.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
this particular edition of the broadcast today. I will step into the newspaper headlines and analysis to track the stories that are breaking and developing across the country, particularly fresh from the print this morning. And I won't do this alone. I have with me in the house Mr. Odwole this morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Drew, beg your pardon.
It's a pleasure.
It's so good to have you in the studio today. Well, perhaps because of many reasons. One of them is about the presidency and Atiku. This is a fresh war of words over killings. There's been a lot of opposition party people playing the scorecard of security and insecurity, especially for this administration. And it seems to be like the hallmark of the whole conversation that they are putting on the table as an argument against this present administration. So that seems to be on the one hand. Meanwhile, just last week too, the president increased a particular portion of the salary of military workers, and that was really a thing. But others, in fact, the experts have called for, why not have it across board? Why not have it spread over all the security apparatus and the security formation in the country? And that seems to be another story. Why police and SCDC, others also deserve salary increase, and that's coming from experts as well. So it seems like if you are to judge President Tinubu in the forthcoming election over his antecedent and some of the things he has done, many persons will they'll play the card of insecurity. But again, Atiku has called again that, there's a bit of incompetence on the side of the presidency. But presidency is also trying to trade words to say, you know what, we're doing what we can do and we're getting better and a lot of things. But let me just get your overview idea on this whole issue.
In politics, we have government and oppositions. And I think the oppositions are doing their work by challenging the presidency to try and do more in the area of insecurity. I could remember recently the president has expanded the forest rangers by enlisting many more people. I can remember the president has created 4 new divisions into Nigerian military so that military can have more access to all the security-prone areas. I can also recall that the president has enlisted United States of America to help in collaborations so that we can tackle insecurity. And I can also, because I follow the link of Nigerian military, Nigerian police, to monitor their activities. So I think the president is not sleeping on this issue, and the opposition too should make issues out of it so that the president will not relax. Increasing the salary of the military is commendable, and the police, Nigeria, all the security apparatus should also have salary increments. In fact, all the civil servants should have salary increments. That is what all I've been advocating for, and I think the president will look into that direction.
All right. Before I move on from that particular conversation, do you think this administration is doing enough in terms of security?
Well, the issue of enough is relative. You cannot conveniently say that enough this is what has been done until we have results.
Do we have any result that kind of like shows that there's an improvement?
Yes, we have results. In Niger State, some people were kidnapped for some months. They've been recovered and they've been reunited with their families.
But about 25 children died in that particular recovery.
Well, these are some of the things that we try to avoid when issues like that occur. It's better we don't get to that stage at all than when the situation now arises. We have to find solutions. So it's not always an easy thing, especially the issue of insecurity, because it's not a conventional war that you know where your enemies are. It is a guerrilla warfare. So it's a continuous effort. It's a continuous engagement. Federal government has also pushed for state security, state police. By the time all these things come into fruition, we will have more formidable security architecture that will be able to give us a better result. But so far so good. If we can check results in the last 6 months, we will see that the rate of kidnappings and rate of insecurity is going down. It's not escalating like it used to be.
Okay, so let's play the game of numbers. I love to do figures a lot. If you had to rate them on a ratio of 6, 1 to 10, I mean to say, what would you rate this administration in security?
I would give them 5 over 10.
5 is average?
Yes.
Because there's so much more they can do.
Yes.
All right. So just last week also, there was also the conversation of the NLC saying they want to propose 500,000 naira as the minimum wage to the federal government. Speak to this. What do you make of this?
Well, it's a proposal.
Do you think it's a worthy proposal, or it's just a word of
They will negotiate it, and at the end of the day, they will come out with something that is practicable. That the federal government can pay.
not practicable?
It's not practicable, we know. They asked when the issue of minimum wage came up in 2023. They asked for something ridiculous, as some of us know that it's not practicable. It depends on what we can. It is what the Nigerian economy can afford to give that will be agreed upon. It's not what they propose.
So, but do you think, in your own estimation, that the lowest earner in the country should have at least 500,000 naira, considering the economic hardship in the country?
I know it is not practicable.
Why is it not practicable? People at the Senate level are earning millions.
Anybody who wants to earn that who can also get.
But they're also working for the same government. They also have a role to play in national
after 4 years, and they lose their job. That's the end.
So they have to get everything they need before they leave office.
I'm not saying they have to get everything they need. What I'm saying is that, in fact, there's an agency of government created by Obasanjo government. It is this agency that fixes their salaries. So it is not really them.
But can we bring it down? There's been conversations about cutting down on cost of governance in this country. But it seems like everybody's not looking, especially governments of the day and even the past government and administrations have not looked in depth into these things.
There is nothing bad in having that debate. There is nothing bad in having that conversations. And there is nothing bad in considering it. It's just that the idea that some people begins to concentrate all their energies upon that kind of conversation, may I see it as something that is a distraction. What I consider important is we should work on how to make our economy buoyant for everybody across the board. Whether you are a barber, you are a taxi driver, you are an Okada driver, you will have money to solve your problems. Once you have that, whatever anybody else will not be your headache. So how we can make our economic more robust and more prosperous is what I think we should concentrate our energies upon. And President Tinubu, for example, is aiming for a $1 trillion economy. That is audacious. If we can continue to do things that will give us that kind of leverage, everybody will benefit from that kind of economy. So we should work towards expanding, making our economy robust. If that happens, everybody will be well catered for.
Now, Mr. Trudeau, let's take a quick drive, perhaps a flight to Osun State. There's been a lot of quagmire, hula baloo, problems, chaos, as you may. Of course, it's because the elections is fast, very, very close now. We have just a few more days to the elections in Osun State. There's been conversations as to federal might coming into play. There's been power tussle between people, non-state actors even, and state actors as well. But the conversation on the Vanguard newspaper this morning has been on Oyinlola leads PDP faction to endorse Oyebamiji. There's been conversations also last week about the freezing of the account by the EFCC, and then the president coming out to say, revert this. This should not happen at this time. And there's been ongoing situation of people being killed in Osun State. So I want to get what you make of this. What do you make of the whole entire Osun election?
The issue of Osun election is completely unacceptable. Election should not be a do or die affair. We should not begin to kill ourselves because of elections. I detest violence and I will never encourage it in any form or shades. Our politicians should learn. The people they are using too should learn. The politicians have their children somewhere enjoying where it is safe, but they are foot soldiers on the streets. They engage in violence. I wish we can be more circumspect in our approach to politics, because there will be life after politics. Why killings? Why all this violence?
But from what you've seen, some have said they've put the blames on the table of the APC, that they are using federal might. Others have said the Accord is also having a hand in it because they are fighting back and all of that. But let me see, what do you make of
Everybody
this?
is involved. The Accord, in fact, IG, when he visited Osun, he told the governor that there are some people that are declared wanted for killings that are hibernating inside government house, and the governor has not denied it. Some people have been arrested who led gangs to go and some gangs. One of the commissioner of in Osun State has also been arrested. So the issue of whether it is APC or it is all the parties are involved. All the major parties like APC, like Accord, all of them are involved. And I think it's still a sad spectrum that our politics is still battling with this kind of anomaly.
But from gatherings, I'm not asking for your opinion as to if you support a party, but from what you have seen, what do you think is likely to happen in Osun State? Who becomes the next governor?
Nobody can say until after elections.
But from some of the things you've gathered, projections and all of that.
Well, from what I have seen, it may go the way of Oyebamiji. It may. And
with more likelihood, you mean?
Some of the things I see is that lately, a lot of people supporting Adeleke, they change alliance and they are backing Oyebamiji, like Onilola, who was the former governor of Osun State, is now supporting Onilola supported Adeleke the last election. He is now supporting Oyebamiji. Aregbesola at the last election supported Adeleke. He is no longer going to support him. He has his own candidate that he is promoting. So that reduces chances of Adeleke. And some of the aides working with Adeleke have left his camp and changed. But then it is the people that will decide. All these things we are saying are assumptions and speculations until Sunday morning, when we begin to see where the pendulum is swinging.
Okay, just not to leave Osun, briefly, Accord Party denies endorsing Tinubu. That's on Daily Independent newspaper. This is interesting because it's a development. We've seen the incumbent governor come out to say that he supports Tinubu. And so that was why that also made mention of the fact that you support Tinubu does not mean you're going to automatically win. So there has been a conversation that is still ongoing. Meanwhile, Adeleke also said to Hitola that Osun residents will reject any attempt to rig poll. Let's briefly talk about rigging. A lot of persons don't really trust the system any longer. They've lost trust. There's a sense of distrust in the system, the INEC, and even political parties as well, and even maybe security apparatus when it comes to election in this country. So, but we need to, because we saw what happened last at the Ekiti State election, there was still a bit of voter apathy, and that's one thing we don't want come 2027, because some have said whatever happens in this election 2026 for Osun is a likelihood for the 2027 general elections, especially with the APC. Some have said the APC would not stop at any length to get to what they want, to get the power and the position they want, to retain presidency and maybe spread across the state. Some have said they want to get a one-party state for the country, and that is not acceptable. But there has been a lot of claims that the APC would do or will go to any length to become the incumbent, to become the administration that is in power across the country. So I want to maybe ask you now, some have said there is a chance that the APC is ready to rig elections. What do you say to that?
Our election has improved significantly, and the element of rigging has been sufficiently removed. At the Ekiti election, it is clear to everybody, we all saw it. In Edo election, it was clear to everybody, we all saw it. So the argument of whether somebody will rig election in this 21st century, the technology put in place has made sure that those things no longer easy.
Mr. Jodo, do you think there's no chance for rigging?
What I said is that it has been sufficiently removed from
But
our...
not totally.
Every election has its own flaws. But then, does not mean that the election we are holding now in the 21st century, you cannot compare it with the elections we used to have in 1999, 2003. You cannot compare even 2007 election that was declared as one of the worst elections in the world.
So let me just confirm. You trust the INEC system?
And because I've been voting since 1993, so I know what elections used to be and what election is now. I voted at the last election, and from that process, it is completely difficult for you to rig. Machines will take your everybody's biometric has been taken, so you cannot vote twice. The idea of when people will be voting multiple times before has been removed. If you try that, they will detect at the tribunal and they will remove such votes. So the idea of rigging has been sufficiently removed from our system. What is still, that's why you observe now that in the Ekiti election, what happened was vote buying. So I will appeal to our electorate to also be circumspect and don't put everything on money. What you cannot conveniently eliminate. In Osun State now, I saw videos. Yes, about Osun State, I saw videos where people were given 10,000 naira to make a note that they will vote for Adeleke. I saw that.
But does it not happen with the other parties as well?
I've not seen anywhere APC candidates have done that.
But if we see,
I'm not saying,
I'll just call you.
I'm not saying,
I'll send it to you.
I am not saying. I am not saying they are a party of saints. What I am saying so far is that this is what I have evidence to substantiate. I'm not saying if anybody produced, the issue of killing now, I did not excuse anybody. All the political parties are involved in thuggery, in killings, in brigandage. All the major parties are involved.
So let me also get your viewpoint on this. What do you make of a one-party state in the country?
One-party state is not democracy. It is dictatorship system, and it's not even practicable in our system because our constitution did not stipulate it, and we have multiple political parties in our system. So the idea of one-party state in Nigeria is not practicable. The people who are making such claims are just deceiving themselves to divert attentions of people who don't know, who are probably ignorant.
I mean to say concluded point, perhaps to say a convenient point I meant to say, to draw the curtains. We want to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Oluwole, this morning for joining us yet again this
It's
morning.
always a pleasure.
Of course, I'll probably just call you when I see any video about vote buying.
I am always at your service.
And of course, we'll now switch over to the next point of action according to what we have today for you. But I'll be shortly after this break. Stay with us.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Okay, they want to do something.
Momentum can shape an election, but it does not guarantee victory. 2027 is already taking shape, and for President Bola Tinubu, the political conversation is increasingly shifting from whether he will seek re-election to how strong his chances of securing it may be, with opposition parties battling internal divisions, candidate selection controversies, and organizational challenges. Some APC members and even some Nigerians outside partisan politics believe the road to 2027 may be tilting in the president's favor. But elections are ultimately decided by voters, and for many Nigerians, the state of the economy, the cost of living, and the impact or otherwise of government policies remain critical factor that could reshape the political equation. So is Tinubu re-election bid genuinely gaining momentum, or is it too early to read the outcome from the current political landscape? And this is the big story. Joining me this morning is Professor Godwin Emmanuel Yedoko, a forensic accountant, professor of accounting and financial development. Prof, it's an honor to have you this morning.
Good morning, and nice to have you back, or have me back.
Exactly. I think I mentioned that I will invite you again.
Thank you so much, and good morning, Nigerian, especially my people in Oyo State and the core Ibadan people.
Great, great.
Good morning.
All right, Ibadan is your go. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start this morning. My first question to you, Prof, is this Tinubu's re-election bid, is it truly gaining momentum, or are we mistaking the mistake of opposition parties, or let me say the weaknesses of opposition parties to be strength, for APC?
I think first I need to drop this caveat that I'm not a political person, but you can't get to where you are today if you are not politically inclined.
Right.
Even your house, if you don't do politics, you will not rule well. So we all understand what is going on in our country. And that said, we also need to check the meaning of momentum, depending on the definition of terms you want to give it.
Okay.
I want to also believe that President Tinubu is not someone that you can just carpet in the scheme of things in Nigeria. And whatever his ambition is very loud, and is gradually coming up, and is even more prominent than any other. Okay, and as of today, you can rate those that we have in mind that are contesting for the same position that he's contesting for. However, if you are writing their names, his name will not be number 2.
Really?
Yeah,
even with the likes of Obi and Atiku.
The work of opposition is to oppose, and if you go to court, we have a lawyer for the defendant, we have lawyer for the plaintiff. Both of them will ask questions from the whoever is the witness and whatever. And what the purpose of the cross-examination is to punch or discredit. So the function of opposition, opposition must not see anything good in what the government is doing. If they see, then there's no need for them. So that's why, particularly as a public affairs analyst, I will say yes. It's going to, because you cannot talk in a day in Nigeria without mentioning President Tinubu. You may not mention others. If you mention others, you mention them in their subnational arrangement, not really in the forefront of the Nigeria scheme of things. So
well, I want to disagree with you on that. You know why, Prof?
Go ahead.
Because
we're used to that with your...
because, I mean, people always talk about the other candidate too, especially the likes of Atiku, Obi, who are very popular, and speaking about the next election.
So what do you mean by popular? Popular in the sense that whenever anybody do anything, they come on board to say, it's a lie, it's a lie. Is that what they call popular?
Maybe in terms of their influence.
Which
online
influence?
And then...
Which influence? Boko Haram is popular in Nigeria, if that's what we want to say. Bandits currently are more popular than some people. In fact, the case going on in Jos is more popular today. And don't forget one thing about us in Nigeria is that if we want you to forget what you saw yesterday, we'll create another drama today. And every day you must... Okay, what happened to the issue of fake agency? It was reported today that he demanded... Gradually, those things will fizzle away and will not have... Another issue will happen. You understand? You remember they used to use Big Brother Nigeria to deceive us. Whenever one important thing happened, Big Brother attention. But nobody is paying much attention like we used to pay to Big Brother. Things are... Now, the football will also come, take our mind away from it. So, let's go back to the topic. Popular momentum. In fact, the president is gaining momentum according to his plan. Whatever you see him doing is a strategy. It's going on. And like I said the other time, I do not have any card of any political party in Nigeria. And I did not say I cannot have, but as of today, even as of tomorrow morning, I don't have. So I'm talking from my personal experience and perspective, which I'm entitled to. So who is more ready in Nigeria in terms of the political sagacity than even the president that we are talking about? I'm not saying it because I like him. I'm saying it because he understands what he's doing. Others are just chasing shadow here and there. And in fact, some people are in this contest just to say I used to be a presidential aspirant. That's the credential some people are looking. And some are also in this race to gain sympathy from the Nigerians. Okay, so that's not the contest.
But some of those candidates have also alleged that the APC, or let me say this administration, is trying to frustrate their activities in terms of the next election.
Yes, I love that scenario. Like, maybe because I'm not a politician, I may not understand how to package this. But the truth of the matter is, as a teacher, if my house is by your house, and I paint my fence, paint my house, put solar, you did not buy gen, you rely on electricity that we have in Nigeria, and there is power outage, and now my street light is now beamed and is illuminating, and you're not saying I'm harassing you. Who asked you not to beef up your this thing? Did the president go to their political parties to say they should not be in order? No. And you don't want me to, as your enemy, you don't want me to be packaging you and be showcasing you. They should go and sit down. If I'm contesting, even as a student union something, if I'm contesting, I need to do things that will make people see the light in my life, not really saying the opposition is allowed. See, I'm not saying Undatun cannot. But it's part of, if Yoruba will say, Ara Ijalenyuwa. No, so far we are not fighting dirty. You have a political party, and it's the vehicle that will make you come up. I have a political party. You want me to go and pray to God that your political party should be okay? No. I will not go and do that kind of prayer to my enemy. Because the more I pray for my enemy to do well, the more I'm waging war against myself. So don't let us go into those. I see all of them, some that cannot even organize their family, they want to organize political party. How would that work? So that's just it. And is it the president that said they should not have brain? No, they should have brain. They should not. They should study. Maybe they said.
So you think they don't have brain currently?
I don't want to use that on the public. Okay. But the issue is that what do you need to organize association? Let's just start. You have association of market women. Do you know that the party that NURTW creates, which is NURTW, they are more organized than some of the political parties we have in Nigeria. Because anywhere you go and you hear, they will say, "Sir, how many of them will listen to their bosses, even in the same political party that they have?" It's just like association, and that's why when you are in school, belong to association, be vying, be doing all this so that you know how to manage people.
Okay, Professor, let's also talk about assessment now. From your own assessment, personal assessment, concerning this administration in the last 3 years, do you think the president stands a chance against other candidates?
It depends on where you are looking at it from, and generally, when people want to assess government in Nigeria, except the elites, they all assess government based on water, gari, and soup and transportation, and it's go beyond that. But what we see is food on my table first, and that's why it's very easier for anybody to get 10,000 and their mind is swayed away to wherever they want it to go. So, and mostly you are judging government based on only household, which is the current issue in the country. Okay, so when you say as the country stand, what's the definition of that? We are all in this country together. Okay, we are all in this country together. I don't have money to buy West slips to put into my list, but you have. That does not mean you are better. That does not mean I'm worse.
I mean, you're a man. Do you
That's exactly, but we see some other guys that do better than what I do in terms of that. But I'm just telling you that it's your choice. Okay, it's even your parent choice that they gave back to you in Nigeria. Because some don't have capacity that my father had then, but they still do not give back to them in this country. So we are here by the fact that we are there. So when it comes to the assessment of government, yes, over 10 in terms of something I can say within 4 and 5 over 10. Now, I'm not going to deceive you, but the reason we are having that is just household and security.
Is that not compulsory, or let me say the most important part of any administration?
It is most important, but I learned that some of our people protested to their emir or king that security is worsening in Nigeria. But they never protested that it's their people, kingsmen, that is causing this. When you talk about boundary, are they from Ibadan? Let's talk. So why will people that are closer to this mind of boundary are protesting that government should do something on what their brothers and sisters are doing? Let's not deceive ourselves. So you protested to your emir that the insecurity in Nigeria is kicking, but it is still in your state more. It's in your region. You didn't protest. You see, when there's a class action against government, you see all of them coming out. Why don't all of them come out and say nobody should do this thing again? So it's more political when you talk about security, but it's more of economic policy when you talk about household. But like I used to say almost every day, the issue of household and the prices of stuffs is something that can be worked on and can be reversed immediately. But the reversal immediately means that you are going to still create another policy to palliate, to do what we refer to as a subsidy. But when you do that, you are also intervening in macroeconomic activities of the country, which we are actually running on. I bet it with you. If they choose to say, okay, from today, because 95% of Nigerians consume rice, and government will now be supplying rice to each of the states. My dear sister, your people, my people, will still sabotage that. They will look at what happened during COVID. All the rice they supply each of the states, until Nigerians started looting where they kept it. They never released it to the federal government as well. So it is we, and that's why Yoruba will say, "Tí ọdẹ ò bá dùn, bí ìgbẹ́ ni ìlú máa ń rí." If you are not cultured within your own family, you will not rule effectively when you go outside, and you will not do well. So that's why this issue of it takes two to tango, and whoever you have there is a kind of product of we that we are here.
Okay, a very quick question. Who is the easiest candidate to sell now? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku, Obi?
In fact, it's Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Really?
It's Bola Ahmed Tinubu because...
I think you just rated in 4.5 or maybe 5 over 10.
So what do I rate somebody that is not in government? If you are not in class, you cannot get a first class. You are not. Those people are not in class now. If you don't take my exam, I'm a professor for goodness sake, of choice. If you are not in my class, you can't even get 0.
But Prof, has there been any time you look at a student, maybe in the 100 level, maybe after first or second semester, and you can tell, if you continue this way, you might end up with a first class?
No, because when I was in school, when I was in school, I do all the association, all the clubs, and I still came out with good results. But some, we only go to their religion activities and school, but they still did not pass. It's not like that. Now, I'll give you another example. When I wanted to write one of my finance professional exam, when the class, they said I should come and do mock. I said I don't do mock. I don't like tests. And the person may be hearing me today who was teaching is a colleague. And when I finished, he said, you have a long way to go. I was the only one that passed in that class for that diet, for that international finance. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
But if you are not in the class, you cannot get first class. So where is the class?
The easiest person to sell?
It is, no matter what, because even if you put Obama to come and sit where Tinubu is today, this thing will still happen. So what are we saying?
All right, let's talk in the finance and economy a little bit. I think recently NLC and TUC said we are set to negotiate with the federal government for a new minimum wage. And then they are saying at least 500,000. So now, you're a finance person. Is that realistic?
They are creating problem.
How?
I'm a worker. I also need 1 million naira. No problem. But I'm just trying to say that I've met them. They've invited me in their general congress to come and speak to them. But they are more of an emotional association than I don't want to, because I have so many intelligent people there as well. They are more intelligent, I know, but they are emotional. Emotional in the sense that if I have a child that needs school fee and he just say, my daddy, good morning, I don't need tea from you, but he was coming and he came with tea. Daddy, this is your tea. I'll just smile. What do you want? I'm not saying they should massage ego. And the other one want to come and stand on my neck and say, you have to pay me. I will tell you that go and meet whatever the money. You know, Yoruba na money yala yala bag full of fun. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I told them, and they will be listening. I used to see him on flights, the president. You can't get this kind of government. You can't get what you want from them if you really want to be fighting all the time. I don't even expect them to go to the news that they want to go and negotiate. You have already shown the world what you want. You won't get it and you will lose less. You have these people's contacts. Seek audience. It's not a newspaper thing.
Okay, you said they shouldn't fight all the time, but Yoruba people will say, and then according to some of these people that, would you borrow? So I think they need to be more firm with the federal government to get what they
this Yoruba has so many adage that you can use in place of that. And I've been explaining that, and I use my children now. Which one will you naturally be attracted to? The one that do you know that if you correct me publicly, I will show you that I'm from Ibadan. But if you have called me and say, bros, this is not the way to do this thing, I'll say thank you. But once it is out, I will also come in that. Do you understand? So if you are saying you want 500,000, that's not the substance of what we are discussing, but let me put it. I will have expected that a meeting will have been held, not coming to the public and say 500,000, and you will not achieve it. You can't even achieve it. I know,
think it's not possible.
You know, they will not give them. How much do they want to collect the other time, and they ended up on 77,000? How much did they write? They even wrote about 300 or whatever. So they will now think it's market product, where you say, how much is tomato? The mama will say 10,000. Okay, shoko by 10 naira. No. But when you go to shopping mall, you see price there, you don't argue. So I think they should use price tag issue. Go to government. It should be even built after the first meeting that people will know that you are talking to government. Honestly, it should have been write them. If anybody leak the letter, no problem. Don't grant interview. meet with them. It is in that meeting that you should tell them this is what we are saying, and go with statistics. And let me tell you, if they increase, now they say they have increased the military people's salary, fine. But do you know that in military barrack, the day they start paying that money, you see the prices of foodstuff going up. Go and check.
So should we say because of that they should not increase their salary?
They should increase. But I would have loved NLC to be on government to first of all do certain things. And I give you something. My salary per month is 100,000. I spend, let's say, 40% on this on transportation. If you are coming from UI side to this side, in a month you spend almost 60,000. I'm not joking. Go and calculate, because I do that always. Yeah. Now, if I spend 60,000, let me be moderate, 50,000 on transportation every month, and I'm expecting 50,000 increment in my salary, wouldn't I rather beg that this 50,000 should be worked on? I can still remain on my 100k, but remove the expenses by public something. I've been to New York, and at times you go through train, and you pay lesser than even what you do in taxi and the likes. Can I do that in Ibadan? Can I do that in Lagos?
Is it possible to reduce the cost of transportation?
It is possible.
When federal government is saying that removing subsidy was the best option, because if they did not remove it, maybe the price of fuel will be around 3.5 now. Yeah, so how do we balance this?
What was the subsidy on? It's petroleum products, not on commuters. It's not on foodstuff. Not on public utility. If you say if you put subsidy on petroleum products, our agent of darkness, they will drive the truck, go sell it in another country. Can we also transfer light from Nigeria to Niger and sell it personally? The answer is no. So if you remove subsidy on petroleum and you make the electricity to drastically reduce, are you not going to benefit it in this studio? Will you be on gen? Will you not be happy if the cost of production reduces? You maintain your status quo, and then the profitability will still continue to be flowing. So I'm saying, if you remove subsidy on petroleum product because of the activities of agent of darkness in Nigeria, people that are bigger than government, because they've not been able to name them till tomorrow, then channel it. You have given it to governor. They are using it to abuse themselves, to be constituting committee here and there. Okay? Can we? You also said that they should convert to gas. You converted to gas, and the gas is also misbehaving. So what should we do? You say you give them buses within something. How many of those buses how many citizens do we have in Nigeria? How many buses? Whether you give buses or not, some of us will not also enter the bus. But don't forget that some of us, when we get outside the country, when we travel out of the country, we don't use some private things. We use public infrastructure because they are there. Like I wish people say, they are there very plenty. And you even want to come down from Heathrow, you want to become, you have bus station, and the price is regulated. Nobody can just say, okay, yeah, well, 10 naira. No, it's now 20 naira. No, those are the things government should do. I'm not going to comment on whether the propriety of removing subsidy on day one, because every other opposition also said it would remove subsidy. But
not on the first day. That was what he said. I remember Obi said he was also going to remove it. I didn't be
after 4 years.
He didn't say that. Maybe Prof.
Yes. All of them have used Tinubu now to learn lesson. But I'm not sure I want to give them opportunity to also test run again. Because they will take us back. I'm not.
That was the best option in your own.
For me, if I have my card, I'll still vote for him. I'm not campaigning.
All right, let's still talking about finance. The president recently said, I want to quote him now, Prof. If we can teach stock market trading in the classroom of our undergraduates, we can build a nation filled with prosperity. I'm asking this question, because of two things: your experience in, finance, and then living well, and then as a professor. Please, can you speak to this matter? With the systems that we have, in this nation, is it possible to achieve success if we decide to initiate this?
It's possible to achieve anything you set your hands on if you are really true to yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you have enabling environment is not only facility, but if today you get outside of this studio and everybody is shouting that thing you did It's not correct. It's not correct. You feel bad if you are not strong like Tinubu. You feel bad. You won't know what to do. And that's why you see former president will use toothpick, and people will use it as whatever you say is toothpick I will be using. Otherwise, you will not do well. We can achieve if the right machinery is put in place. That's just my own. They even said we want to achieve how many trillion economy. But we are going to that level and we will get there. But when we are achieving, some opposition will still come and say, is that what we want to eat? We are talking about 40 whatever trillion of external reserve, and people still see it as is nothing. Whereas it will have been a point for them, even if they are there, to say, oh, from how many? From 3 to like 40. It's part of economic indication that helps the country. Serve as buffer. So you can't trivialize, yes, on paper, you can't trivialize those things, because if we don't have them, it will be worsening. And the effect of those activities that they are putting their hand is that a government that is selfish will not do what Tinubu is doing.
In terms of what?
If you are selfish, you don't do reform, people will not like you. If you want to lose your credibility in your family, go and tell your family that they should cut the 3 eggs they eat a day to 1 because you want more money. Tell them that because you want to buy new TV sets, now today, we will no longer buy chin-chin for children. They will hate you drastically. But that saving you have is to prolong, is to enable sustainability, but they will not like you. So also in your organization, if they've been giving you 1 pack of water per month, and they now say, oh, because of electricity and the likes, let's be serving 1 per day. Okay? And later we'll see everybody will revolt. So if you are not selfish, you will see this kind of policy. But if you are selfish, you will not do it. And let me tell you the implication. In economics, we have something called short run and long run. The effect of reforms of this nature is not in the short run, is in the long run. Until
when? Because, I mean, if you look at some of these reforms, the policies, Nigerians are complaining bitterly. When are they going to see the result?
Which policy?
I'm going to talk about the fuel subsidy that we just discussed now.
Yes, the fuel subsidy, let me tell you the long and short run effect of it. Short run effect is that everybody will have to pay for the product they want to buy immediately. Nobody is packaging anybody. Short run effect is that those that are siphoning this money, that we import nothing and get fresh subsidy money, they will no longer have that money. They will now gang up against government because they are not doing well, and they are the powerful, and we are just 95, let's say 90%. Okay, we are just 90% citizens that are not enjoying fresh subsidy nonsense. The only 10% that are enjoying it will now recruit the whole 90% to fight government so that they can return fresh subsidy, and those 10% will continue to enjoy in Nigeria. So the short run effect is we are feeling it now. Those people are also feeling it, but they are bastardly affected. Now, the short run effect is also that money, it wasn't as if somebody paid government subsidy money, no, because people felt that there is this money. No, it is still normal income, source of revenue that we have, that they used to pay, that they will no longer pay, and it has been transferred to subnationals. What are the subnationals?